We were live anyway.
And there is Christina.
And Christina's back with us.
I can't hear her though. Oh wait, you know what? We can hear her now.
Can you? Yeah, go ahead, Christina. You can.
Hi.
All right, cool.
All right, yeah,
cool.
had to turn up on the board.
All right, Christina's back with us. All right, back at it like a crack addict, live from the 718, where everything is great.
From the 718, from the 973 to the 718.
Where everything is great. What's going on, y'all?
Go ahead. I'm in the 516.
She's in the 516.
Live from the 516.
Up in the mix.
Up in the mix.
Nice.
Yeah, before we went live, Christina was like, since we're not on the air.
Go ahead.
Obsession, what's your name?
I'm not telling.
You're supposed to say Obsession. She in the building.
She knows my name now. So
she knows your name, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom and dad. They said we're gonna give you a black ass name.
They gave you the what you call name? The black, the Black Panthers.
Yeah, I got one of those black empowerment names.
You got the Black Panther name.
It's not Mustafa though. I'm not Mustafa.
Yeah, you ain't Hadik Lashik Hafik.
No, I'm using. But quick story though, like I do come from a Muslim family.
Okay,
so it's not really crazy. I mean,
swine, my brother. Nothing.
Yeah. Shout out to my uncle Fahim.
That's not nice.
Yes,
Shout
out to my uncle Fahim. Shout out to you. Yes, sir.
What does Shaheem mean in Arab?
Fahim, you mean?
Shaheem.
No, you mean Fahim.
You mean Fahim?
I thought his name was Shaheem.
No, his name is Fahim.
I'm talking about your name.
Oh Lord.
My name is not Shaheem.
Oh, okay. Your name
Fahim.
is Obsession. Your name is Fahim.
You know, let's just move on.
Yeah, because finish the story. I thought it was something else,
brother. Sometimes
no,
if it's connected.
I'm with you, Obsession. I'm with you.
I'll stay connected because if you look at phonetically, it's spelled like that. That's why I thought it was that.
Okay, brother. So
it isn't.
Let's get to it, brother, because you all over the place.
How am I all over? See.
Let's just move on. We will put you up on game later.
You're gonna. That's why I said the Arab.
Okay,
all right, but
my brother here.
Yeah, this guy's crazy, man. All right. Topic of the show. It was supposed to have been a very robust show, but due to circumstances out of our control. Mm-hmm. But the topic of the show is basically for the men, and I have a few women should join, I think a little bit later. But basically the topic is men between the ages of 33 and 42. If you're not financially stable, if you're not where you're supposed to be financially or where you think you want to be financially, should you be dated from women?
If you don't have your shit together, should you all get together?
Why is this?
All right.
Crazy.
Okay.
But yes, so should you be approaching women at a specific age when you are not financially stable? And the reason why I came up with this concept, there's a few people going around saying to men, if you're broke, you shouldn't be dating. I don't necessarily agree with that because you can't tell someone not to look for any type of form of companionship, right? Everyone is going to look for something, on any level, what that may be.
True.
But here's the thing. The thing is that are you ever going to be fully comfortable knowing that if you rest on your laurels and financially you fall on your backside, is your lady going to be there? Go ahead.
You could always fall on your backside even if you're doing very well.
I agree with that. But which would you rather be? Would you rather be at the bottom and fall deeper into the bottom? Or be at a position where if you're usually financially great and you fall, it's a little bit easier to get up than if you fall without it.
Are we including in this conversation, or maybe you think it's the same thing men have said when they're, on their purpose?
That's definitely where I'm alluding to.
Is it just a financial thing? Is it I'm where I want to be mentally, spiritually? I've accomplished what I want, or is that mixed in with the finances?
I think if you're on your purpose, eventually both. If you're on your purpose, that road leads to financial stability and financial excess. The quickest way to something in geometry is a straight line, right? Mm-hmm. And the shortest distance. So if you're on your purpose, barring disaster, then you're going to achieve some type of excess in self-actualization.
I found that certain men don't want to have a more serious or committed or specific relationship if they're not at the level that they perceive is when they satisfy being on their purpose.
Correct.
They can't. So it goes in. It ties into them emotionally as well.
I agree. Especially if you're older, because when you're in your 20s, I never was the most attractive guy, and couldn't get a girl to wink at me. But the point I'm making is the ones that probably did find me attractive, it was never like in my 20s, it was like, hey, you're kind of cute. Keyword kinda. And then you're kind of cute. It never was, hey, you kind of cute. What can you bring to the table? Or can you even bring the table? But it seemed like once you get north of 34, 35, then it's like, all right, you kind of cute, but I kind of have bills. I kind of want to go on vacation. I kind of want to have a lifestyle. I kind of want to be sustained, right? And then as a man, do you run from that, right? Do you kind of do you embrace that, which is hypergamy, or do you kind of be like, man, I can't really, as Obsession says, am I even qualified to be with this person?
Well, I think when you get older, you have more responsibility and your lifestyle change. Okay, all right, when you're dating and you're younger, right? Let's say you went to school with this girl, you was really digging her, everything was cool, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all was real close at school age, junior high school, high school. Got a little older, she started dating a dude with a car. You didn't have a car. You was, riding a bus and your bike.
Word.
Right? She's not going to go backwards and date a guy that doesn't have a car now. Like, she's used to the car guy and you are the bike guy. Right?
I agree.
So you got to step it up, right? It's progress, right? It's moving forward. Like, they expect you to have certain basic things like an apartment, some transportation, at least a solid 9 to 5, right? It's nothing, and I think that's reasonable. It's not crazy. When you're younger, like I've said this before, like when you're at a certain age, women's friends are like, what does he look like? And then when they get older, they're like, well, what does he do? So it does matter. That's true. It makes a difference. So the cute guy thing wears off, and it's like, well, what kind of profession does this guy have? Like, what is he doing? How can he provide? Like, where are you guys going long term? And I think that's kind of where their mind goes. And it's reasonable, right? It makes sense to me. I mean, you should have your shit together. I don't think you should be dating, because dating comes with certain expectations. As a man, I would like to lead, and to a certain degree, I want to provide. I want to be able to make decisions and take you to where I want to take you. You know what I mean? I want to go to places I want to go.
As long as you cooperate, Christine.
Of course. If you're not cooperating, you can get the hell out of here.
Thank you.
We can't even have a conversation.
Thank you for reminding me that I'm cooperating, and all the other women as well.
That's right. You got to be cooperative. We want some cooperation.
Okay. All right? We want some cooperation.
Okay,
so do the women.
We don't have time.
The women want some cooperation too.
I don't mind that. Like, okay, well, hold on. Let's stop for a second. What does cooperation look like to you, since women want some cooperation? What is that? What does that mean?
Here we go. Face your camera.
It's I know, right? I don't know where to put the camera. Cooperation for me, I think of it more. It's so funny. I think of it more when it comes to the kids. Like, you're trying to do what you got to do. You're trying to get things in order in the house, and you're trying to get things done for the kids, and they're messing things up, and they're interrupting you, and it's like you just want a little bit of cooperation. But I guess with a partner, I guess it's just a sense of working together.
So
it sounds vague.
It does.
So we're like equal partners.
Uh-oh.
I think so. I think we're equal partners. Yeah.
Oh.
As humans, I think we're equal partners. Yes, that deserve as much respect to each other. Yes.
Now, okay, I can agree with that, but
yes,
there
100%.
are expectations that you have for me and any man. Okay,
right.
Even if you're not dating them, you expect men to be chivalrous. Right. Okay, don't act like you have never used that. Hey, I'm a woman, or let a woman sit down, or a woman should, because I'm sure you have played that card. All right, so don't act like in relationships that there are not expectations.
I didn't
there
say
are
that.
Plenty of expectations, and there's a lot
female.
of. I agree with that. I agree with the male and female, but there's a lot that I have to give up. There's a lot that is expected of me. I am expected to lay my life on the line. If you get pissed and punch me in the face, I'm supposed to walk away. I can't punch you back.
No, but I'm not supposed to punch you in the first place.
Okay, we know that. But you know, if I hit you, my ass is finished. 100%. And some women take liberty and they use that. And let's not act like they don't.
They weaponize it.
Okay.
They do.
Okay. That's facts.
Yeah.
They weaponize it. You know what I'm saying? But the crux of this discussion is, that's why I wanted so many women to be in this conversation, because every woman's going to have a different number. Every woman has a different quality of life. Every woman has a different vantage point of what they feel is financially secure. So when I was conjuring up this topic, I wanted to put a framework, because I always tell you, Christina, hypergamy for our lineage or my socioeconomic demographic, or is basically no frills compared to frills or brand name. It's basically Frog Smacks versus Sugar Smacks in the supermarket. Because in your position, you said I'm in the 516. A person from New York City automatically has a correlation with that and say that's Long Island. That's white picket fence.
Unless you in Wine Dance.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
It depends where on Long Island. It
right. Depends. That's usually white picket fence, right? That's usually quality of life is suburbia to New York City, right? So your financially secure is going to be different from someone in Flatbush to an extent, or East New York, or Crown Heights, right? So, Miss Mellow Moonchild, how you doing today, sister? Thank you for joining.
My pleasure. How you doing? How's everything?
Mellow Moonchild.
I cannot complain. I am sweet like bear meat.
All right, she is ruled by the stars. All right, Mellow Moonchild. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm mellow.
How the hell are you?
I'm cool, calm, collected, and then I was born in July, so I'm a moonchild. So that's
okay. July. What, if I can ask?
20th.
Oh, so you're a Cancer like myself. All right, let me give you a shout to my Cancerians. Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's right. We do our thing out here.
Yeah.
I was.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, when I think about, I have had the great privilege of having two sides of both worlds. I was in a relationship for almost 22 years.
Okay.
And then I never got married. We didn't have any children together. And then when I realized I'm more of a mentally stimulated person. So because of that, if I get to a point where we can't communicate, like there's something called communication, but if the other doesn't comprehend what you're communicating, then what's the purpose, right?
There is no communication then.
Correct.
Perfect. Exactly. So I got to that point. That's like, where I ended it. I had to end that relationship because I'm like, there's no growth mentally. And for me, I can't move going forward that way. So with all of that being said, I've been in the dating arena now for like 6 years.
Okay.
And I won't really say 6 years because like 3 of those years I took to unload my baggage. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of what I needed to so that I can be that woman for whoever comes along next.
Fair enough.
With that being said, only thing I have been coming across is it seems like there's so much hate between the sexes right now. And I'm like,
I have to agree with that.
Make love, not war. Like what
I have to agree with that. There's way too much going on out here right now.
It is. Everybody's pointing fingers. I just read something today on some dude's page and I just shook my head. He was like, well, since the women couldn't raise the children, give the custody to the men. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, I'm pretty sure you was raised by a woman.
Yeah, but that's a different story. That's a little bit more nuanced. When you hear that, I don't want you to hear it from that perspective per se. They're saying what kind
of perspective can you get from that?
Well, the perspective is this. The perspective is that if the father is more secure in everything, in all of the quality of life aspects for the children than the mom, it's like, okay, if the father is the one that kind of like created the framework for their quality of life, right? Do the children go, no offense to the woman, but if the woman is worse off than the dad, do the children go and live in a certain type of less amenities?
Not at all.
Right. So that's what they're saying in that situation. It's like,
well, he wasn't saying that. It was more so he was saying women have done a bad job being parents. Like he blames women for the reason men are in jail while young boys are gay. He blames them for everything. So let
me ask you a question. Let me ask you something. Well, let me kind of give you an observation.
Sure.
One of our most famous basketball players at the moment, Kevin Durant. Yes, Kevin Durant. I remember when he was in OKC, not OKC. He was with the Warriors. That's where he won his championship, right? With the Warriors.
Yeah.
Right. And at the end, he said his mother was the real MVP. He got MVP of the series. And he says, I just want to give a shout out to my mom. She's the real MVP. Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay, cool. All right. Stay right there with me. Now, let's flip that, right? Let's say Kevin Durant was a bum, a complete piece of garbage who went to jail repeatedly. He was a predicate felon. You name it, he was it, right? He came from that same single parent household. Would they say his mom was a bad mother, or would they say he didn't have a father?
They would probably say both.
I think we're being a little disingenuous.
The reason I say that is because
I think it depends who you would ask and what they would say. They could say that he didn't have a father, or they could say both. It depends on your audience.
Well, I've never heard anybody say it's the mother's fault. I've never heard.
But you know why? You know why they're not going to say it's the mother's fault?
Why?
Because of the fact that this is a true statement. Most women who raise kids by themselves are working a lot of hours, right? We know those moms who are working overnights as nurses. She ain't always got her eye on her child. And although she teaches him the right thing to do, what he goes out and do with it is up to him. Now, him giving her that MVP had nothing to do, I don't think, with the fact that, she was probably at all of his basketball practice. I don't know what that had to do with, but at the same point in time, I don't think it's because of the way that she raised him.
I don't think. Sorry to cut you. I don't think she. What one way or the next. It doesn't even matter. It's just the fact that he said mom is the real MVP. Now, we're not saying that she did a bad job. We're not saying that she did a good job. We're not saying any of that. We're just saying that that's what he said that day.
That's what he said.
Right.
If it was the other way around, see, this isn't even about the mother, the job she did or didn't do. It's not on that. What we're saying is, if he does great, yay, mommy did a great job. If he does bad, he didn't have a father. And that's usually the narrative. Like, so what we're saying in essence is, when is it your fault?
When is it the woman's fault?
Yes, correct.
When is it?
I think it's the woman's fault when she doesn't take time to communicate with her kids, spend time with her kid. I think when she leaves them with other people instead of, I remember seeing a lot of young moms who would leave their children with their grandmother, great grandma.
We all grew up watching that.
When she doesn't give that child support, period. That's when I would say it's the mom's fault. Like, and I also say the same for a father. If the father is not giving that child support, and it don't have to be monetarily contrary to people's beliefs, time has a lot to do with it, so because I have an estranged relationship with my biological father, like he wasn't there at all. So it's just, I just have no relationship with him. I don't think anything bad of him. I see now as I get older how life goes, when you have a separate relationship and family, and you doing what you do with that family and so on and so forth. I see how life goes. So I don't hold anything against them. We just not cool. That's all, if you get what I'm saying. So like I said, I think it depends on that mom and the time that goes into a child. To me, that's the most important. And like I said, this is just for me, because I come from a 14-year-old single mother who taught herself to be an accountant and never got on the welfare system.
Okay. And that's great. That's great.
Right. And that's called exceptionalism, right? But
right. And it's not something that is on an everyday occurrence.
That's the outlier. That's not the norm.
Right.
But what I would say is
around the norm, but I didn't come from the norm. If that makes sense.
So let's just say with the story you just said, right? Let's kind of veer off back into the subject, right? So you at this point, let's say you got rid of all your baggage, right? I wish I had Price is Right music. Dun, 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 dun. But let's say you got rid of all your baggage, right? And everything is now at a fresh start. You're back at the starting line. A man approaches you. I understand you want mental stimulation, like you said. You go off the mental, and that's cool.
Right.
What do you have to see in a man financially before you take him seriously on a commitment basis?
That he can at least take care of himself.
Okay.
Even
that's
if
right.
It's the bare minimum. He got soap to wash. He's not coming to me for soap to wash his behind, lotion, toothpaste, clothes,
money.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
As long as you can handle you, because I'm handling me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Right.
I'm not coming to a man to take care of my personal things like that. There's certain things that I think you just should have as an individual. That if you had nobody,
as an adult,
for yourself.
Okay.
Right. So I don't need all the extra, but if that come along with it, I ain't gonna be mad at it. But I'm just saying.
Get a little hand clap for that woman.
I'm a grower with a person. I'm cool.
Okay. So you're willing to build a man with him as long as he comes with basic components. It's like Mr. Potato Head. When you open up the box, the arms, the eyes are there, the lips. So as long as he's the potato, and he has the components, you're willing to put the arms, the eyes, the hair, the hat on him, and the feet. That's what you're saying?
I'm willing to be there to be whatever it is that he wants to do.
So you would get you a build-a-boo.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't want to conform him into anything that I want.
It's not about conforming. You just said you're willing to build him up with you.
Yeah, I'm willing to be there as he grows. We're growing together.
That is a beautiful thing. Listen, 100%. You're an outlier for real. You are an outlier for real.
100%.
Some of the women that was supposed to be on the show today that I spoke to said, "I'm not building no boo." They said, "Yo,
objection, Your Honor, hearsay."
There ain't no hearsay.
That's one thing about life. Sometimes life will hand you the most raggedy. Can we cuss up here?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay. Life will hand you the most raggedy, fucked up package. You know, it'll come in the mail.
Oh damn, she wanted the curse.
She wanted the curse.
Because I needed to emphasize that.
Lord,
we respect that. That's perfect.
All right.
So life will hand you this messed up package, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most people will look at it and disregard it as soon as they see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's jacked up. But you don't know, once you open that package, ain't nothing but a big, beautiful gleaming diamond on the inside.
Oh,
but you didn't take the time to open it. You just, all you saw was what was on the outside.
All I want is a little light to shine on me.
All right, she telling them to look inward.
She said, look within.
Look inward.
You have to. That's where you find the best stuff at. Even think about you know, even when you think about what you eat, it ain't good unless you put some seasoning on it, right? It ain't good unless
do it.
That's right.
You got to do it.
Got to put the garlic in there with the salmon. You right about that?
That's right. Talk about it. That's real talk. You gotta go within.
So quick question. What city and state are you located in, young lady?
I was born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Okay.
I am in North Carolina. My family was from North Carolina, so I came back to where it all started.
Okay.
All right. So she in NC. All right.
Okay. So you're in the sticks. Which yeah. Okay.
I'm in Greenville, North Carolina.
You're in Greenville. That's the sticks. Greenville's the sticks.
I met a girl from Bridgeport once.
Greenville is College City.
y'all still deliver your mail by pony. But
that's true though. That's true. That's true.
Is it? That's true. That's cool.
No, they just deliver it on Giraffe. That's all.
Like and share the video, everyone who's watching. But listen, all right. So the reason why I ask you, so Greenville, North Carolina, is a college city. So usually, like you say, a college town, its finances, its resources, and its revenue usually comes from colleges.
Yes.
Which is a form of what we call a debt wealth city, meaning all of its money is coming from a form of debt because of student loans, colleges, tuitions, rents, right?
Do you know the lottery funds public education out here?
I could believe that.
Yeah, so whenever you play lottery, that's what funds the schools and things out here.
That makes sense. So that's my point, right? Because when you look at it from that situation, the city has to get revenue from somewhere. So that means it's not an industrious city, but its industry is college, which is also a debt creator, but it also brings in a certain amount of revenue for the city to run. Why am I saying all this? Most men that's going to come up to you in a debt wealth city like that is not going to have a large amount of money, especially if he's of our hue and lineage, right?
When I was scared to actually come out here because everyone always told me, you know, when you get out there, your cost of living, of course, is going to be cheaper, but you're probably going to make less.
Exactly.
I got lucky where I came out here and I made 20 grand more a year than I did when I was up in Connecticut. I don't know how.
Let me hold something. Let me hold something. You got something I can hold? Let me hold something.
Can I holla? But yeah, so that's why I give you these things, because Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? So let's say 1 in every 6 black men, if I'm not mistaken, this is why I needed more people, because I was going to bring up the data. But by me doing this the way I'm doing it, I can't really share my screen. But 1 in every 6 black men in 50 major cities didn't work since 2016. That's social collapse. You know, the one thing I tell women all the time, if you think a man is in his mid-30s, won't be in front of the liquor store going, do that, and do. Like, that's not our goal. Men by nature are aspirational. Men by nature are grandiose, right? Very
much so. Right.
And I think a lot of times the opposite sex don't really understand that. That's why I always preach hypergamy and being your purpose. And this is why this episode is very important, because we want to kind of create a line of demarcation and give people a different vantage point, city to city, state to state, and show them that, okay, the money that we make in New York City, Obsession, who's the star of the show and a very hardworking man.
Y'all gonna cut that shit out, but continue.
Is gonna be, if he made the same money that he make in New York City, if he moved to where you're at in North Carolina, he'll have a harem of women.
Yes, he would. I'd probably be one of them. Hey, boo.
Ooh. Get a Lord a hand clap for that.
They up here choosing to do. They choosing.
They posing to be chosen.
They choosing. Tell you, they saying in the right clothes, you get chose with your mouth closed.
It.
All right.
That's it. So,
my God.
That's it. Hey, Christina, don't mind the pimping. But
I'm like writing this down. I'm like,
you got to.
Okay.
If all the buildings in New York will fall, that pimp's still standing tall. But listen, the point that I'm making is that understand that. So there's a different stratification, city to city, state to state. And see, a lot of times, and I know Obsession will agree with this, when you look at television and they sell you aspiration from Los Angeles, if you living in North Carolina, right? But what your eyes see is a bunch of women in LA arguing about a Birkin bag, but you live in Sweet Yellow Corn, North Carolina. But you want a man to pull up in front of you and be able to offer that. It's not realistic.
At all. Not at all.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Oh, not.
Like I can leave this studio and catch the train, and within 8 stops, about 8 stops, if I catch the Q, I can get out and go to Nobu, right? But the thing Obsession would say to you was like, yo, let's go to Bojangles.
Yep.
You see the difference?
Yep. Yeah. Very much so.
And that's what I'm trying to convey, right? That's why I want men to understand. Get your footing first, whatever it may be.
I agree.
That's what I was going
to. That's just what I was about to say. Like, listen,
and it all depends on, again, what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And I
don't agree with that. No.
Well, you definitely need
looking for.
I don't agree either.
You definitely have to, like I said, at least be able to take care of your necessities. That part.
Listen, nobody wants a bum, right?
Nobody
wants a bum. Nobody wants a bum. Quick.
Man is absolutely a bum because he ain't financially stable. You know what I'm saying?
He might be a nice guy, but his bank account says bum.
Hey, Mellow Moonchild, if you lived in New York City, you would literally walk past a lot of great, handsome, good-natured homeless people on your way to work.
That's not what it is, man.
Oh,
I mean, all you gonna do is you set yourself up for failure.
I was always in the city. I know. I've seen a couple of them. I'm like, dang, bro.
I have yet to see a beautiful woman say, "You look like the nicest guy. Why are you on the street sleeping?
Let me take you home and give you some money.
Why are you on the street? Do you need some soap, baby?"
It doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that.
No, I think guys got to get themselves together before you start dating. You can't just be out here in the mix, all willy nilly. You cannot. You got to get your money together. I'm sorry.
I think she was trying to say something, Zora.
Oh, who you, Randy? Go ahead, Randy. Go ahead, Zora the Explorer. Peace, love, and light.
Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Sure can.
Yes.
We can hear you looking good in your profile picture.
Thank you, my brother. Thank
little
you.
sunset behind. I see you out here.
Yo,
looking like
that
a cinnamon toast crunch.
Sunrise. Yo, I went to
that was a sunrise. All right.
Excuse me.
My homegirl went to the beach.
All
right, Randy out here looking dandy.
All right, like cotton candy. Go ahead, Randy. Talk.
Oh
my God. Talk to him.
No, I'm not gonna be on with y'all long, but peace and everybody.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you start talking, you start borging at the same time. Try it again.
You said what?
Go ahead, try it again because we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, you breaking up.
Yeah, did she drop? Oh, Mello dropped off. Go ahead, try it again, Randy. Damn. You was in a good spot at first.
I don't know. Now you sound like somebody that's choking you. All right.
This has been brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Look.
Oh, you sound like you're running out of minutes, girl.
Did you crank up your phone before?
I think you need to go out and come back in. It's not working, love.
It ain't working, Pudding Pop. You yeah. All right, Christina. So you live in Long Island, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jesus. All right. Home of the Italian woman. King of Queens, like the show.
I don't really know if that's all it, but
yeah, that's what it is.
I didn't like that show.
I never watched it.
That show will definitely be what I do when I show how they promoted feminism through black shows instead of white shows. But then she's one of the shows that they definitely promoted. But listen, a handsome, dapper, clean young man walks up to you. Mm-hmm. What do you feel he needs to have in his bank account? What do you feel like he needs to have or obtain in order to get a nice, young, fine Italian woman to give him the opportunity?
He has to have a job. He has to work. Okay. He has to be ambitious, to have some kind of, passion for what he does. That would be great. Okay. It would show that he's happy with himself. Right. If he's good with himself and happy, he can be present in a relationship with somebody else.
Right.
As for what's in his bank account, I don't know, because I don't know what that money is for. He could have 5 kids. He could have no kids. He could have a salary 3 times the size of mine, but more bills. So,
okay.
I never looked at, he's got to have a certain amount of money, honestly, in his bank account, but I would like him to be gainfully employed, because I am.
Okay. Hold that thought. What is gainfully employed, young lady? Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and share the video. Thank you, Jesus. Go ahead. What is gainfully employed?
He has a job. He can take care of himself. If he has children, he can take care of them. He can be living someplace, and have his own place. It's just, it's not that complicated.
But gainfully employed to a lot of women does not mean it's different. Gainfully employed is like, is almost come with like a certain price tag per year. Right. It also comes with a certain type of white collar position.
There are many women that will think, well, I only want a man who makes such and such amount of money a year.
Correct.
Right. With, I had a friend that was, would say, well, I want to date somebody with a plane. That's the amount of money I want him to have.
Okay.
A plane. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So to me, that never, I never looked at that. I wanted someone to have some kind of education. Okay. I wanted someone to enjoy what they do, to be I've dated people, and I've had relationships with people that hated what they were doing in their career, and they weren't the happiest of people.
Yeah, because you got to hear about that shit all day, right?
Well, I don't even know if it's that I had to hear about it. It really affected their mood and their view of life and how they are in the relationship. So you have to have a certain amount of listen, we all have bad days and things we don't like in our jobs, but you have to have some kind of a happiness in what you do, or else you won't stay doing it.
Well, the old saying goes, right? Well, the old saying goes, you find a job you love, you never work a day in your life. So I definitely understand what you're saying with that. Right. But again,
as for okay, you have to do this, you have to have this many homes and have this much money. I honestly, I've never done that.
So you never.
So I'm the wrong woman for this conversation.
Would you? Let me ask you. Sorry. Would you date a guy who was a Starbucks barista?
There you go.
To be honest,
just say no so we can move to the next question.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
She said no. All right.
No. Okay, now that's
so
why
there is a level you won't go.
Right. That's why gainfully employed is a very slippery slope.
Because I feel like the Starbucks barista, I mean, is that the main career, or is that just a stepping stone?
No, that he's a star.
Else?
He loves to make lattes.
That man will come home and use the same whipped cream or hot chocolate on you and tell you how his day was.
Americano, you got it. God damn it. Exactly. He's bringing it. Your vanilla bean frappe, he got you. Exactly. Okay, he got you.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's his thing.
Well,
Kristen, you're telling me hold on. You're telling me that you're too good of a woman to have a smoke-filled room and your man come in with that Starbucks apron on, butt naked, with nothing but whipped cream in his hand. Are you telling me you too good for a man that's willing to do that? Come on.
No, I am not. Oh, no, I'm not too good a woman for that. That's fine.
Okay. Then what's wrong? Yo, listen.
She said he can come in the house, he just can't stay.
Yeah.
He could stay for a little while.
He could stay for a little while, and he got to go. So he's gonna call and what is he gonna say? He's gonna say what?
I've never said that in my life. Anyway.
He said, "Los cucarachas entran, no puedo salir."
No, hay cucarachas.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, you know, we there's a fine dance that we play with that, right? Because now here we go. Obsession could tell you this. I know I could tell you this. Obsession's, you know, a little bit more, and pause, a little bit more, I feel, you know, I'm not judging him, a little bit more handsome than I'll ever be. But when I
think that's subjective, but continue.
That's why I said my opinion.
Okay.
See, you don't want all over the place. But the point I'm making is that with women, you ladies, you guys, there's such a fine, I'm talking about a split hair line between attractive once that man's finances are all in order, right? Because you know the difference between that barista who walked in your bedroom butt naked with that apron on and the franchisor, about $250,000. And you know what you'll tell all your co-workers at school? Ooh, girl, I got one that owned 3-star. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. Leveled up.
You know what? And he could look like a frog.
And he could look like Jimmy D. Cricket.
Oh, as you said, Jimmy the Cricket, we had there's a guy that he was like my arch nemesis growing up in Brooklyn. Like it was on site. Like when we still saw each other, it was knuckle up time. It wasn't even no questions. It was just swinging. Unfortunately, he passed away about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But he looked like Jiminy Cricket. And we dead ass used to call him Jiminy Cricket, right? The girls teased his ass all the time. It's Jiminy Cricket, looking motherfucker, whatever. He got a big ass gold chain. And all of a sudden, he cute in his own way. He kind of cute. I said, check that shit out. He been Jiminy Cricket since 7th grade. Now he cute in his own way.
Everyone has their own way of, you know.
Yeah, because he looked like he was making a little money now.
Yeah, it's the total difference. It's the total difference.
Do you see this shit? He got the same face he been having.
Facts.
Well, it's, you know, it's I don't know how if men think of this, but you know, I think for women, a lot of women, it's what is the whole package? You know what I'm saying? You can have a very, very good looking man and he becomes a real jerk very quickly and he loses his looks and he's not exactly the person you want to go for.
And you're left with the at least.
What do you mean?
That's that. I'm gonna let him go ahead. Expound on
that. I don't do the at least. If you're like this vicious person, like I don't, you know, not nice.
He doesn't have a job, but at least he tap it right.
Yep.
He don't tap it right, but at least he makes good money.
Knock the bottom out.
He's kind of ugly, but at least he drops.
He's got a gold chain. Right. Do you guys do the at least for the women?
Oh, no? we have yes. Men have been settling since the beginning of time.
See, that's the difference between us and y'all. We're so transparent with that.
We have been. We'll see a guy with a woman that we know he could do a little bit better than that. We would know. But we you know what? He's just at a place where he went down in looks to come up in cooperation.
or to come up just to have some physical stimulation.
Yeah, like, you know what? Yeah, Tawana big as fuck and she loud, but man, she good to me. She cook and she don't give me no headaches. So fuck all that.
And this is why
you don't think women and men do that?
Well, I mean,
men admit it, and women dance around it.
I don't doubt that you all do it, but you just make excuses for it. Like homie looked like Jiminy Cricket forever, and now he was cute in his own way because he had a little money.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like him. You ain't like him for 8 years. Now you thought he's cute because he got a little gold chain. Stop it.
Now
that does happen. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna throw a curveball into this, right? I'm gonna show you how much I've been thinking about this, because me and you talk about this a lot, and I had a conversation with a woman about this yesterday, right? Who was supposed to have been on the show. The fact that, like Obsession just said, we will make these compromises to go up in something, to go down in something, just to have something. Where y'all do it, I think y'all do it less, but y'all don't really admit it. But here's the thing. Understanding that most men in New York City right now, most men, right? Because you yourself are in the top 2% of female earners in America. I always tell you that. Most men are not even in your bracket, right? Because to make what you're making is, as far as, look, you're in the top 2% of female earners. If a man was to make what you're making, he's in the top 10% of male earners, right? Now let's go into black earners. It only takes 250,000. I think it's going to be a little bit less now because of the pandemic. It only takes 250,000 hard assets to be in the top 5% of black homes, right? So this is why I'm giving you the science of it. This is why, as men, you always talk about why men always self-aggrandize and lie in pursuit of the pretty woman in vagina. Because if I told you that, Christina, I am the illest fly flipper at McDonald's, your fries would be golden. As soon as they hit the box, you ain't trying to hear that. But then you're going to miss out on such a good guy. If I tell you the truth, I say, look, girl, I'm on fries and bacon in the morning. I could make you the illest cheese biscuit at McDonald's, and then at lunchtime, the biggest Big Mac. You're not listening to that.
Yeah, it's true, man. And, speaking of McDonald's, that was one of my first jobs. Like a lot of people, your first job is McDonald's.
My obsession was Calvin, who was dancing on the commercial.
I actually knew a girl who was fucking with Calvin. I'll tell you that story another day.
Hilarious.
Calvin was a bum. Anyway, he was. I'm just keeping it a buck. So it was this girl that I went to school with, this girl named Dina. Pretty. She had these hazel eyes. Everybody was trying to holler at Dina. I pulled her. All right. We in the house, Nintendoing it up. We doing our thing, rolling around on that bed, kissing, touching all of, dry humping and shit.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
But she was like, no, we are not doing anything. It's not happening. I was like, all right, fuck it. Some years went by. I'm working at McDonald's now, and in walks Dina. She saw me behind that counter and laughed.
Oh,
she laughed. The guy a few years ago who was rolling around on that bed was good enough, but now because I'm working at McDonald's, I wasn't, and it bugged me out. I'm like, it's still me. Like, I'm the same person. She was like, I can't believe you work at McDonald's. It was like 3 of them, and she was just cracking up. She didn't even order food. She just left laughing hysterically.
Yep.
That's terrible.
Like, wow.
Isn't that terrible?
It is.
Wow.
Because depending on what year that was that he was working at McDonald's, right? If he was, let's just say he was there for 2 years and she just started a random job.
I was 16 years old.
He was 16. So that means he actually was making more money than she was.
That's right. He was working.
Exactly.
Yeah, because most 16-year-olds didn't even have a job.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So you're laughing at the same dude that could take his McDonald's check and take you out and do some things because everything costs money. But because of the prestige of the thought of him working at McDonald's, he was no longer good enough.
Yep.
See, the problem is, we get impressed, these situations impress upon us, and they leave a mark to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? And that's because it was an emotional, like upsetting or, you know, kind of experience. And then, you know, we're kind of prone to forming opinions about people with that same point of reference. You know, I know, you know, I'll tell Andre, you know, I don't date, you know, my ex-husband was Italian. You know, I don't typically date Italian men. Now that's not, and I know very nice Italian men. I have friends that have great boyfriends that are Italian. But for me, in my head, there's a certain type of person, and I don't want anything to do with that person. So that's really not right of me. But I find myself falling into that because of my experience. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like there are many people who would not do that. That's terrible that she did that. That's horrible.
Well, listen, I got over it in 10 seconds.
I know.
You know, it was like whatever.
But I'm just saying that's you know, like
I was eyeballing the girl on fries anyway.
Ooh,
good.
Lord Jesus.
That's good. That's good.
That's
now,
right.
my question to you, Obsession, did you see her later and then you was already on your come up and did you get that? Hey, big, hey, yeah.
Did I was
Oh,
DJing.
come on, tell the rest of the story then.
I was DJing. I was DJing at Mars 2112 when that was open. So I'm DJing in there. I think it was something that Power 105 put on. And I'm on stage. I'm rocking. Place is upside down. I mean, we vibes all the way up. And who comes to the side of the stage? Dina. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I was about to ask you for a double quarter pounder with cheese and your head spinning records.
You look so good. Oh my God.
Hey, big. Hey, yeah.
I was like, yo, what's good? Like, so what you doing? I was like, I'm doing marriage.
This Negro said he's doing marriage.
That's nice. That's good.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, Mars 2112 was the spot too. I remember I was a little kid getting kicked out of that spot.
Yeah, that shit was jumping.
Yeah, I remember at Cheetah and Club Bed in Miami. I got kicked out a few spots. But see, this is why this is why a lot of men, when they get to a certain age, have to kind of self-aggrandize and lie to pursue you ladies, man. We got it. You know what? I just had the Lord just put a word on. Thank you, Jesus. The man just told me that we have to lie to get y'all so you can see how good the type of men we are, because you wouldn't give me a chance if I was out there collecting people's garbage or flipping burgers.
Shout to the garbage men. They make good money.
And the garbage and sanitation makes excellent money. But a lot of women don't know that. A lot of women don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of women don't know that.
Shout out to my homie Kevin. He worked for sanitation. He just bought a house.
Yo, that's beautiful. And you know, with me, I'm a troll. So back in the day, I remember, especially, I guess early 20s, I used to tell a woman, like, they used to be like, you gonna take me out? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick you up in my trash truck. So I'm gonna come straight off work and pick you up in the trash. What? I said, I need a job, don't I? Yeah, but not no trash truck. I'm like, well, not a trash truck then. That's it. Listen, this is why we got a lot of y'all to show how good we are once you accept the lie and then realize how good Andre is after you.
You know, I don't do that though.
Yeah, well, he's a better man than me.
No, seriously. Like, I realize that if they want to fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you.
That's not exactly true,
bro. Let me tell you something.
That's not exactly
if
true.
She wants to rock with you, she's rocking with you.
You're talking about when their perception of you from the beginning is not of this. How can I say? I'm trying to use the word. I'm not disagreeing with Obsession, but when the woman's perception of you is already tainted to where you don't fit her criterion.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? But what I'm saying is like when you talking to women, if you just coming at them straightforward, you know, and you being who you are, if they want to fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you. If they don't want to, then they won't.
I agree with the latter is definitely the truth. Women like what they like, how they like when they like it. That's definitely
that's
the
whether
truth.
You know, in the garbage truck or you in the BMW. It's believe me, man. I have gotten way more women just being straight up than I ever had lying. Ever.
Well, you know what?
I think straight up is the way to go. I don't know.
You know, first of all, disclaimer, I gotta hate on him because, you know, us light-skinned people ain't been in since Lord Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He a brown skinned, chocolate bearded. You know, I ain't got all that working for me. You understand where I'm coming from? But I get what he's saying. Me and him talked about that on the Simp Show.
Nigga, I hear women say all the time that they prefer light skinned.
You a goddamn lie.
I hear it.
Andre,
all the time.
You don't get women because you're light skinned? This is a whole
I'm telling you, bro.
Do.
They say you light.
Really?
I've been called every name from candy corn to Rice Krispies.
Have you heard piss colored?
Piss colored.
Okay.
You know, 2 shades lighter than chalk. You know,
everything.
You know,
I'm white. Nobody's ever said that.
Yeah, they call me eggshell, but they call me taupe black. But this the point I'm making.
That's crazy.
All right. So in New York City, it's different. Like we talked about this last week. In the West Coast, I've seen, because there is a lack of, like, it's just a total lack of men. So I see men can be able to like approach women on a total honest, listen, I just like you for your body and I just want to spend time with you, and kind of over here, I don't know if it's our culture, and I'm going to exclude obsession, but over here, when I hear guys kick it to women, it's always on some grandiose type thing. It's never on some honest, like, yo, I just really want to just like sleep with you.
Well, I think the culture kind of dictates that.
I agree with that,
right?
Too.
Like when you listen to the music, especially, the Gen Zers, like the wave they on, the whole city girl, Meg Thee Stallion kind of energy, like this whole boss bitch vibes. So I think the guys are coming at them like, look, you a boss, I'm a boss, I got money, like I can do this, I can do that for you, because that's kind of what they into at the moment. I think that's what's kind of driving it. They pretending to have more than they really have because it's in the music. It's on, they watching these reality shows where they're taking these trips to these exotic places, but Bravo's paying for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, of
MTV's paying for that.
They don't even understand.
VH1's paying for that, but they don't get that. And then they say, "Oh, I want to go here too." And you've seen the Real Housewives of so and so go to some French island somewhere, and now you want to go. Like, we got to go here. This is the new vacation spot. Like, chick, please. Do you know how much it costs to go there? But these guys will, especially the scammers, they will bend over backwards to make it happen. The
scammers are winning too.
It's a shame, man. Like I hear women who could barely form a sentence saying that if a guy take her out, it has to be Ruth Chris or better. Ruth Chris or better. Like,
yep.
They ain't going to no McDonald's. They ain't doing this. They ain't doing that. I was like, okay. Can you spell Ruth Chris?
Do you know where Ruth Chris is at?
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of women just say that, never even been to Ruth Chris.
Where is Mr. Childs? Do you know? I bet you don't know.
How what's the difference between Philippe Chow and Mr. Chow?
I've never been. I don't know.
Well, you live in Long Island. Y'all go.
But they make all these weird, crazy demands.
Y'all go to Picarelli's.
You don't even have nothing going on your damn self. And they're like, oh, so we supposed to get together and struggle together? No, just be more realistic. And like, listen, if you make $600 a week, you shouldn't be thinking about going to Mr. Childs or Philippe Childs or Ruth Chris unless it's every now and again.
Right.
That's not a weekly thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be trying to spend that much, especially if you live in New York City, because Lord only knows the rent's too damn high.
And I'll be honest with you. I was at Nobu 2 years ago when they first reopened after the pandemic, right? And I seen the weirdest thing. It kind of hurt me. I seen a black woman, right? She in a sequence dress, had her hair done, everything. Right? She has like 3 or 4 kids with her. And she had a dude with her. So the dude was an adult and he had like a hoodie on. Fine, I don't care about that. But she had like 3 or 4 kids walking behind her, looking like they just got out of bed. But she had on a sequence dress. It's like, yo, if all of y'all can't look presentable, especially in Nobu on 56th Street, if all of y'all can't look presentable and to the 9, why are you even at Nobu? And you in a sequence dress. I'm talking about the little girl. I don't know if it was her daughter or not. Her hair was nappy all over them. I'm talking about like not comb, had it pulled back, and you could hear like the little hairs off. I felt so bad. Because you know what she did? I guarantee you. No judgment zone, but you know what she probably did? Took pictures at the dinner table with Nobu just showing herself. Oh, birthday vibes.
Probably.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, girl, you better get them kids together and we going to the chitlin shack. No, boo. Come on, man. We have to be, like I said, that's why I really wanted a robust show today. I wanted to go I was going to have someone from Miami, Atlanta, obviously Long Island. We had North Carolina. And I was really going to go even Toronto, because I really wanted to show the different variances of what is considered financially secure for a man to approach these women. And then, because I just feel like this, as a man, that apple cart starts to shake, you in trouble. And that's no shot at women. Women, to me, are creatures of comfort. Their relaxation is in their resources. And, that's it. Like, you shake that apple cart, you're going to find out. The wise man once said, you find out the truth about a person when they stop getting what they want. Sustainability is a very important thing in modern day United States when dealing with women.
So if you feel that women are hypergamous, but
100%.
men try to achieve like the most that they can, or they're competitive, or and all that. So so then what do you call that?
What men? What?
Or, because if their hypergamy is looking for certain things that maybe a man wouldn't look at, right?
Okay.
What's important to him. So then what do you call it for men that want to achieve and have the best?
You being a psychologist, just the basic science of hunter gatherer.
Mm-hmm. Well, the men hunt and the women. Okay.
Well, what I'm saying is what
be ambitious?
Listen what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, when it got people involved, when you monkey branching your way along, I think that's where the issue comes in.
So so what I'm saying is, before modern society, what did man do? We know this, hunted. Right? Man went from if a group of men felt they were more powerful than the next group of men in another geographical locale, right? Yes. What did they do? They took their women. They took their land. They took their resources. You understand? Right. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. They took their women. They took their resources. They took their land, right? They gathered everything. They looted. And this is, that's what men are. They just self-aggrandizing, self-actualization. Think about this. You know this, per se, you being in the educational field, right? You have direct correlation, indirect correlation.
Yes.
Right? Maslow's pyramid is a perfect example of direct correlation. As a man gets more, he self-actualizes to the point where he expresses himself more. So as he gets more money, now he's going to the opera. He's going to Saint-Tropez, right? When he's at the base of it, it's clothes, food, and shelter, right? Now, the same thing in indirect correlation is the richest people in this country have what? The least amount of children. The poorest people in this country have the most amount of children, right? That's indirect correlation, right? And why is that? Because a lot of times we get into this mindset was like, yo, the more I have, the more I want. So I don't have no time for even having kids or wanting kids. But the less I have, then I have to create a family or a actual cornerstone for us to help each other out. You understand where I'm coming from? So there you go. I think we have a phone call.
No.
So, and that's what I'm saying. So that man's natural nature is to go, conquer, build, burn.
Obsession and Andre, have you ever had women ask you, what's in your bank account, or how much money do you make a year before they would even go out with you?
Yes.
Before they would go out with me, no.
I've had one before, yeah.
Really?
But I have been asked about my finances, but never before we went out on a date, no.
That's a very personal question if you don't know the person.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, I wouldn't share that information anyway.
No.
Right. And I feel like if somebody asked me that, they shallow.
Say it again.
I think if somebody asks you that question, they're a bit shallow.
Oh yeah.
I think women find anything shallow. So let's, for example, which one would you rather me ask y'all? Your age, your waistline, or your bank account?
My age.
Why? But
I ain't got no qualms about my age.
What are they? Why are you asking? Why? What kind of a question is that?
What I'm just saying, y'all find. I remember one day I was in the elevator at work in 2015. You know, my memory's like an elephant, right? And it was a coworker, and all I said to her was, "When is the baby due?" You don't never supposed to ask a woman when is the baby. I'm like,
oh my God.
What if I wanted to buy you something for your baby shower?
Oh, so she was fat.
But she was showing pregnant. We knew she was pregnant. She was.
Oh, so she was pregnant.
Right. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So all I said was, "When is the baby due?"
So you wasn't out of pocket.
And she flipped on me.
Interesting.
Wow.
Babe, what time it is? Don't you ask no woman what time it is.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
She was in her emotional state. That's
women are always in an emotional state.
Women are emotional, sporadic, erratic creatures, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You know what's funny? I get accused a lot because I have a lot of male friends, and I grew up. Most of my cousins are males.
You are Cancer too, so you are emotional.
No, actually, I'm not.
That's a damn. My mom is the poster child for female cancers.
I don't. You know, I'm a Cancer, and I hear that. I don't know if that's true 100%, but continue.
Right.
Keep going, Moonbeam.
Yeah. I'm always accused of thinking. My cousin always tells me, he's like, "Yo, the way you think is like a dude." He's like, "How do you think like that?" And I'm like, "Why do you say that all the time? I'm so like nurturing and all that good stuff." He was like, "But the way that you think is like you have this I don't give a F attitude." And
they don't understand.
Cancer is the sign of nurturing, though. Y'all are the sign of nurturing.
We very, very much so. And I'm like that. If you come to my home, you getting fed, you getting asked, "Are you comfortable? What can I do to make you comfortable?" That's just me. That's how I'm.
We're naturally caring person.
They care until they don't. And when they don't, they're going to say whatever is on your mind.
There you go.
Yeah, when we done, it's a wrap.
Because we feel like we have extended all of this to you.
Yes.
Only to be disrespected. So
only to not have cooperation.
There you go. So you can kiss my entire ass on the way out.
There you go.
The entire ass. That's great.
And we'll act like you do not exist. Real talk.
Exactly. Yeah. And the one thing I don't like, not male cancers. I can't say this about male cancers, but female cancers, y'all ask the silliest questions on the face of I don't know what your mind goes through. My mom is a Cancer, and she's so crazy that I kind of like position myself to be around her during certain activities because I know where that mind goes. We could be 30 miles from her house, and she'll say, "Andre, what, Mom? Why they don't rake their lawn?" What? Like, that's her. You know what she'll do? This is what this is what my mother do. If this is when my dad was sick, so when I came back to Jersey, she know I used to eat Lay's lightly salted potato chips, right? So she'll go buy 3 bags and go, "Andre, why didn't you eat them?" I'm like, "Ma, I ain't get around to it." Why did you open my chips? What?
Oh my God.
But like I said, y'all are the sign of nurturing. I get it. You know, I personally, I can't do a Cancer no more. Not a female.
I can't say that I'm different, but I am on the cusp of Cancer and Leo.
Leo women are gods. Leo women are gods.
I have the sun and the moon in my all within me. So shall I say? So
for us Capricorn, Leo women are gods. So
they'll tell you they're gods also. They'll tell
yes,
you.
they will. Won't they, Christina? Leo women will tell you in a minute that they're gods.
I'm surrounded by Leos and Scorpios and a few Cancers. My daughter is an August 1st Leo, and she is
she's in the height. Yeah,
she is in the height of the whole thing. So yeah.
But yeah, since you're back on Moonbeam, Mellow Child, Sister Queen, Mother Magic. So once again, North Carolina, right? I know you see what we call abject poverty with, college life, right? Mm-hmm. So do you get both the college guy who's aspirational in the future coming up to you, pursuing you, and the guy who just, listen, rough life, I'm working, I'm making it, you know what I'm saying?
I get more so that than anything.
Rough life.
Yeah, I really get rough life. I'm trying to make, I'm building my way back up. Right. And that's what I was going to talk about before too, because I was going to say, realistically, we all have this thought process of how we think people should grow and what they should do, where they should be, all that good stuff. But realistically, we have to understand people's experiences and what they have been.
So you get a lot of rough life guys who approach you.
I do. But you know what's crazy? No, this is the funny part. I get a lot of young dudes that's like 27, 28 years old, and I'm like, I am about to be 46, young man.
But they understand that you can. But they understand that you can cook and you can pay their bills and you can put an extra $150 in their account for Jordan and Hennessy every week.
No. Hold on, wait. No, it'd be, I know you a big girl, and but I could knock that down. That's what I get. Wow. they just looking for a moment.
That's a lot.
So if it's a guy that's trying to pull himself up by his bootstraps, get his life together, wipe the snarl off his mouth, pull up his pants, change his drawers, are you giving him charity vagina because he's trying? Or you're telling him, hey, go out there in the wilderness and make yourself a better man and come back and then you can get some.
One thing about me, the vagina ain't coming unless I'm mentally stimulated by it.
Oh, Lord. So he got a lot of you.
I'm being honest. I am being honest. Like,
and that is why dudes mess with young girls.
And this is why we lie, right? So he got to come to you with the 48 laws of power in one hand.
No,
keep rallying in the other hand.
No, not all that. But like, if we buy them, when I tell you, it's kind of like when you have that relationship with someone where you're finishing your sentences, y'all laughing at the same thing. That kind of
vibe. You have to be connected. You have to feel some kind of connection.
Yeah, I don't want to work too hard.
Yeah,
I don't want to work too hard.
No. So he's like, Mellow Moon Child. I came up to you because Mercury's in retrograde. And there's a blood moon in the sky tonight.
It doesn't mean obsession. It doesn't mean you have to work so hard. It just means you have to be you. And then if
I love an honest
woman you're with, that's it.
I love an honest.
Wait. We can sing together, but we can't talk together.
Yo,
one at a time, please. I didn't hear a word Christina said. What did you say?
Sorry.
I'm saying. What did I say? I said you just have to be. It's not working so hard. You just have to be. If you're working so hard, it means you're being disingenuous. That's how I feel. So you don't have to work so hard. Don't be laughing, Andre. You don't have to work so hard. You just have to be you. And if it connects, it connects.
Okay.
It's you don't have to read the Declaration of Independence. You don't have to memorize that. It's not that difficult.
It just sounds that way.
Listen, our sister Mellow Moon Child made you understand that it's difficult. I have to stimulate her mind. I have to tell her why E equals MC squared is an outdated equation in thermodynamics. She just said that.
Not all of that.
I have to always cross in the green, never in between. Like, come on.
It's the connection. It's the connection. It's a thing. It's a vibe.
So I'll put it that go to and say, do your Bluetooth match my Bluetooth? Like, what are we talking about?
It's a vibe. Okay, I get what you're saying.
I get connection. If there's a rep, all right. If there's like a repartee, if there is a, if men are, like me, I love a man who can who can make me laugh. Like, that's funny. Like a man with a sense of humor is a beautiful thing. Like, you're connected. It's just, I don't know. I like that.
Okay, I got a joke for you. Ready?
Go ahead.
Got a joke. I got a joke.
Oh, snap.
You got jokes?
I got a joke. You ready for the joke? I got a joke. You ready? Let me know when you're ready for the joke. I got a joke. You ready?
Are you gonna holla?
Okay, here's the first joke.
Tell me the joke.
Here's the first joke.
Right.
What do you call a gay dinosaur?
This video is gonna be shot on
a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What do you call a gay dinosaur?
Wait, I have to just make we in no way, shape, or form.
Oh, come on! Forget the disclaimer. Come on, we're talking a joke here, okay?
Tell me. No, well, I don't know. Obsession. What do you call it? A gay dinosaur?
Megasaurus. All right, wait, it's not over. I got one more. Got one more. You ready?
Go ahead.
I don't mean jokes for. Stop
it. Stop. Hey. Okay. What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?
Jesus.
What?
Lickalotopus.
Hey, yo, I got one.
I made you laugh.
Yo, listen, I got one for you. And neither one of you ladies is gonna like it, but at least it's a little bit more apropos. What did the blind man say when he walked past the fish market?
Hello, ladies.
I don't know, but I know.
All right.
Good evening, ladies.
Good evening, ladies. That's a terrible. That's not all the women. That's
all right, listen. We know these are off-color jokes,
right?
But they're just that. They're just jokes.
Yes,
but yeah, that's just the net of it. It is a lot of work. If you're gonna be yourself, it's a lot of work because now you have to lead with everything that is vulnerable. The one thing about a facade is almost like the best version of you that's not you, but it's still you because you're creating the facade.
That was a mouthful.
All right. You don't have to reveal all your inner vulnerabilities, but you could just be who you are.
Listen, and we're gonna end the show soon because our session has to go to Uptown. But if I have to go to Mellow Moon Child and stimulate her mind, I gotta be Eric Benet barefoot. I gotta have that moon crystals around my neck.
Barefoot Eric Benet,
right? No. I gotta have an ankh, right? I gotta be able to sing in E minor, right? I have to. There's a lot of things. We gotta walk. Barefoot. Wait,
what did
on
she
hot
say?
tar.
You just have to what? What'd you say?
Genuine. Just genuine.
Yes.
We're not genuine.
But
neither one of us is genuine.
Right. But genuine.
Genuine.
That would be. But wait, that would be okay too. That would be all right also.
But see, genuine.
It would have been back in early 2000s. It would have been now.
All right, I could sing pony for you. All right.
But this is the point. Genuine or genuine doesn't necessarily mean that's conducive to stimulating your mind.
For me, well, okay. So let me take stimulation of the mind back and just say he has to be a vibe. He has to be a vibe. We have to be able to connect. I don't like watching wrestling and stuff like that. Like whenever I see a guy watching wrestling, I'm kind of turned off.
So that's one of your turn-offs.
I don't like dick pics in my inbox. I don't like that. Like,
oh no.
All right.
Well, let me. You don't like wrestling, but what do you do? What do you like?
What do you like?
I like a guy.
It doesn't matter what you like.
Can you kick him in the ankle for me, please?
I ain't kicking that man.
Shout to the Rock. Shout to the Rock.
The microphone.
Shout to the Rock. Shout to the Rock. I had to take it there. Since you mentioned wrestling.
But speaking of the Rock, now look, I'll watch wrestling for him.
I bet you would.
That's
all right. So last question before we go, right? So this is a direct correlation to the initial subject. Okay, Christina, at your tender age of how long 53. Were you gonna? Okay, 53. I didn't want to, how long does a man have if he's on the low, but he's trying to build himself up, and you decided to give him a charity vagina and a chance to be in your heart? How long does he have to get his stuff? Well, get to the point where you feel like he can suffice.
I don't give charity vagina.
Oh Jesus, what's wrong with these people?
But
philanthropic vagina.
No, I don't give philanthropic vagina either. Well, there was that one. No, okay, no. Anyway, no. If the person is, if I'm connected with the person and they're consistent and they call and we get together and they treat me well, you know what I mean? We're in a process, we grow, and there's no time limit. It's all good. That's all.
But ain't no time limit. But fellas, if you're trying to date her or you trying to date women in their 50s, just understand, fellas, that you can't keep these women out too late.
Yes.
All right. You can't keep them out too late, and you can't listen. In the middle of the day, they need a nap.
Yes.
Right. Don't forget they need that nap. Okay.
Wow.
And make sure you have Netflix so she can watch the Golden Girls before she goes to bed.
I'm just talking shit, girl. Leave me alone.
Yeah, but okay, so
hey, I'm not in my 50s and I need a nap too sometimes.
If we take a nap during the day, we are well refreshed for the evening.
Oh shit!
Right.
All right. Let me give you a round of applause.
I give her a clap
All right.
Nothing better than a well-rested woman.
All right, yes, touche, goddammit.
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's right. You plan a day for her. You make sure you start in the morning, but at 4 o'clock, you be like, put a nap in at 4. Like, I need a nap at 4.
We'll reconvene
exactly,
later.
Exactly. We do the morning nap at 4 and dinner at 7. Yes.
All right, Mellow Moonchild.
My daughter
in your
calls
position.
me. My daughter calls me a one event bitch a day. Like
that's it.
Yo, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Anyway. So, Mellow Moonchild, same question to you. You said you're about to be 46 years old. How long does a man who is not at his peak financially, or nor is his, he can be at the point of changing his trajectory? So how long do you give him the opportunity to change his trajectory before you, say, listen, this is, I'm 46 years old. I ain't got no time for this, man.
I honestly like this young queen said, Miss Christine, I don't have a time either, as long as I see that he is real about what he's saying. I'm seeing his growth. I'm seeing that he's, building what he said he was going to build, that his focus ain't broken. We can go forever.
All right.
His focus ain't broken.
His focus ain't broken.
All right.
I like that.
Well, listen, I appreciate even Randy who phone was
she tried.
Yeah, I appreciate all you ladies for chiming in on this. If it wasn't time constraints, but Obsession has to get some money and I gotta go to sleep. I'm old. I need a nap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk about napping, Andre,
you know me, I'm a professional sleeper.
Yeah, and so
so the point I'm making is, I wish maybe next week I will, if these people decide to join, because I really want to get into depth, because we seen just the variation between Christina and Mellow Moonchild, right? We seen that. So imagine if I can get another 5 to give us their vantage point of where men should be before they approach them and pursuing them on a commitment level basis.
And can I just say, Andre, I thank you guys for doing stuff like this, because I keep saying, I see all this bumping heads, the men and women, but where's the solutions? Where are we having conversations where we know what each other needs and wants?
Right.
So I appreciate you guys for having a platform for us to do this. This is awesome.
Yeah, listen, the best way to deal with the rift that has been created in America between male and female is to actually have the nuanced conversation without having a bias, right?
Right.
And that's what the goal is, right? I have no problem with, no offense to you, Mellow Moonchild, I have no problem with the female whimsical, wishy-washy mind. That is a part of being emotional. Just like I have no problem with a man having to lie, steal, and cheat to get some Panadraws, because it's kind of like nature.
It is what it is, right?
And I'll end the show with this, and y'all can say yes or no. I'll end it with this. A woman said to me yesterday, she said, Andre, I just don't want to be lied to get some vagina. And you know what I said to her? I said, does the lioness who's in the prairie hiding to get the antelope, does he whisper in the antelope, does she, because it's a lioness, she hunts, does she whispers in the antelope ear and say, yo, I'm hiding in the grass so I can jump out and kill you? She said no. I said, exactly. I said, because the nature of that animal, it sees its prey, and it says, okay, that's it. And it goes and it implements anything it has to kill that prey to get what it needs, the objective, right? And how you implement it. It's the same thing with men in pursuit of you ladies. Obviously, we can't tell you everything, then we kind of wouldn't get you.
Well, men like to
what I'm
chase.
saying?
They really do.
Exactly. It's just nature.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say, y'all. It's just nature. What I always tell you, this is not obsession. This is Andre. Y'all just want to be hugged when you right and smacked when you wrong. That's it. I understand.
All right.
And listen, on that note,
appreciate y'all.
Yo, they so scared.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure to be here.
We will do this again next week. Shout to Moonbeam.
Yo.
Mellow Moonchild, it was a pleasure meeting you.
All right.
Yo, y'all are hilarious.
All right, Christina. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Christina, stay black and date white. Now just play.